the soul clown, Leroy Daniels.
It makes me feel good, though, to just stand up here and look the house over and see so many guys out tonight with their own wives. Or somebody else's wife. It don't matter as long as you're getting some. Shame on me. You said shame because your husband working. I explained to you earlier tonight to pull your dress down. Boy, fool around getting me fired the first night I worked. I supposed to be looking at my audience and I'd be trying to look up on her dress tail. If they get any shorter, there are going to be 2 more cheeks to powder and another spot to shave.
Really?
Sharpen your teeth in that. I mean, you've been shaving. But seriously, I am working 3 and 4 jobs, though, trying to support my family. See, I came from a big family, and we were poor in my family. We didn't have nothing. Nothing at all did we have. One part of the time, my father wasn't even working. I was 15 years old when I was born because somebody had to go to work right away. We were so poor, even the poor folks wouldn't even talk to us. Garbage man come running up and down the street with his horse and wagon hollering, "Garbage, garbage." Lady stuck her head out the front door and said, "Will you save me 3 cans?" We didn't have nothing. I remember one Christmas, I hung up my socks, and the health department made me take them down. My daddy was a tight man. Didn't want to get up off of nothing. I remember one Christmas he went out in the backyard and shot his rifle 3 times and came back and told us Santa Claus just committed suicide. Me, you look at me, but I'm one of the triplets. My mother came over there and she looked at the 3 of us lying there. She said, "Come here, Paul. Pick out the one you want because I'm going to drown these other 2. And that's when I first learned how to swim. We didn't have a damn thing. Our house was so raggedy, they had to come and repair it before they could condemn it. Those days was rough. But nowadays, kids got everything. Tricycles, bicycles. Hell, some of them got motorcycles. And I work a lot of jobs trying to support my family. And I got off my job just the other night and rush home, jump in the bedside of my wife. She was already there. I pulled off my clothes. And I was there side of her, and I grabbed her, and I tried to... Well, I laid there just long enough to... Well, what I think she really wanted me to do was to go ahead on and... But by us being married here, she figured that I should... Well, hell, I just went on and... Y'all laughing, but that's my wife, damn it. If I want to go ahead on and... I fell asleep, that's what really happened. But I woke up the next morning, I had the same damn thing on my mind. I reached over and felt for that woman, and she done slipped out the bed. And there she was in the kitchen fixing breakfast, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't have my mind on no breakfast, not that time of morning. I got me a piece of paper and I wrote a note. And I sent that note in the kitchen by my little boy, and she read the note. The note read, "The tent pole is up, the canvas is spread, the hell with breakfast, come back to bed." But that woman gave me a surprise that morning that I really wasn't expecting. She sent a note back to me, and I read the note. The note read, "Take down the tent pole and put the canvas away. The monkey had a hemorrhage, ain't nothing happened today." But I have an announcement to make tonight. We have some prizes that we're going to give away, and I think this would be a good time to give them away right now. Stop right in the middle of everything and give these prizes away. Everybody's out hustling, trying their best to get something for nothing. Amen. So the ones that was in here with us tonight early, between the hours of 7:30 and 10:30, would you please take your stubs out? Take your stub out. Don't look at me. Just take your stub out. You know what, ma'am? You don't have no stub.
I left my stub at home.
Pardon me, sir?
I left my stub at home.
If you left your stub at home, I don't see how in the hell you got two women. You must be using tongue action. Ain't nothing wrong with it if you're getting it right. First prize, you can win a round-trip ticket for two to Beverly Watts. Second prize is 900 pounds of that good old down-home onion gravy. And third prize is a big map of the freeway showing where the police hides. And this is your fourth and last prize. Fourth prize, you can win a beautiful Technicolor naked photo of Sonny Liston. So those of you that have it, hold on to your stub. Something bound to come out. Just like I said, I go everywhere, so I know something about all things. I got mad about 4 Sundays ago and walked straight in the church house. It wasn't my intention to go to church, but I just happened to be passing by. And my shoelace came loose, and I was there tying it. And I heard that preacher inside. That man was just a preaching. "We save bad women. We save bad women." A wino stuck his head in the front door and said, "Will you save me 4 for the weekend?" I went on inside the church, and when I got in there, the preacher was standing up there. He made an announcement. Rev said there's a certain brother inside this church running around with a certain brother's wife. He said, "I don't want to call his name and embarrass him." He said, "But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass the collection plate around, and whoever that certain brother is, I want him to drop a $5 bill in the collection plate." Rev passed the plate around. When that plate came back to Rev, it had 19 fives in it. 2.5 with a note that read, "I bring the other 2.5 next Sunday." Some of the sisters and brothers were telling that determination. One sister stood up in front of everybody. She said, "Brothers and sisters, tonight I want you to know that I feel fine. Last night I was in the arms of the devil, but tonight I'm in the arms of the Lord." One of the deacons said, "An amen, Cody." He said, "Hell, whose arms you going to be in tomorrow night, sister?" Everybody was waiting on old Rev to start preaching, but it wouldn't start right at that time. Something was wrong in that church, and by him being the preacher, he could feel it. Rev stood up there looking his church over. He said, "I want all of the sinners to sit on this side of the house, and I want all of the Christians to sit on this side of the house." Everybody sat down but one man. Rev said, "How come you didn't sit down?" The fella said, "Well, hell, you never called me." Rev said, I call all the Christians, I call all the sinners, who are you? The fella said, well, I am a pansy. The Rev said, you are? The fella said, yeah. Rev said, in that case, then you come over here by me. Hell, I thought I was the only one here. The pansy came over there and he stood right alongside of Rev. He got so close to Rev that he was just nudging Rev. Rev looked at the pansy looked at Rev. Rev said, at this time, we're going to sing some hymns. He looked back at the pansy and said, would you like a hymn? The pansy said, of course I would. As long as you're giving out hymns, would you please give me hymn, and hymn? Just about that time, Rev got wound up, that man started preaching. That man preached so much until he touched me right here. I remember every word he said. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Old Rev said, there's a day coming, the black horse is going to ride the white horse. Women is going to rule the world. Long may the women live. One of those sisters raised up and said, ride on, Ella, ride on. And a doggone it, I'm mighty glad you helped me to get the money together to build this church. We'll have one of the bars of the market real soon. Same old sister said, ride on, Ella, ride on. Nelson, a doggone it, I want you, sister, to keep looking beautiful for me. I'm gonna ask for some more money, run that money on in here. Same old sister said, ride on, Ella, ride on. Nelson, a doggone it, I want you, sister, to stop hanging around them pool halls. Stop going in them bars, accepting drinks from men that you don't know nothing about. If a man go in his pocket, pull out a great big bankroll of money and show it to you, don't have nothing to do with it. So Sister raised up and said, oh, hell, Rev, you done fell off your damn horse now. Said, damn it, you done stopped preaching and started meddling. But that man preached so much that one of his own sisters got happy and got to shouting, jumping up and down, pulling and tearing and snatching on her clothes. I looked at the poor woman, she done tore all of her clothes off of her. Didn't have on nothing. Fell out center of the floor, flat of her back, lying down there wiggling just like a damn shake dancer. And everybody gathered around looking at this woman lying down there with no clothes on. But one of the deacons, he was very, very nice. He pulled off his coat and he covered her with his coat. But the preacher jumped out the pulpit, snatched that coat off of that woman and said, stand back, and let the Spirit work. Oh, you should have been there. He preached all the way over into the 10th commandments. And when he got to that 8th commandment where it says, thou shalt not steal, he got on that one and it didn't look like he could turn it loose. He just kept on preaching. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not steal. And some fella got up to go out of church. When he got up, his wallet fell out of his pocket and fell on the floor. Preacher looked down and he seen that big old fat wallet and he got close to that wallet. But he continued to preach. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not steal. Bending over trying to cover up this wallet all at the same damn time. One of the deacons looked down and said, I see you, Rev. I see you, Rev. Rev looked up at the deacon and said, Valley, deacon, I say unto thee, just keep quiet about what you see. I'm the preacher, ain't got nothing to hide, and we'll divide it when we get outside. You're drinking, aren't you, man? Yeah. Really? But could you pull your dress down just a little?
Don't ring it. Please don't ring it.
I'm not ringing it, Daddy. I'm telling you like it is. These short dresses is hell.
I like them, baby.
I do, too. If they get any shorter, women going to have to start wearing lipstick.
On what? On what? Lipstick on what?
On what? Same thing you bite on, Daddy. These short dresses causing a whole lot of accidents. I was right there on Western and Adams Boulevard. A lady walking across the street with a short micro mini on. And she dropped her purse, bent over to pick it up. And 4 cars ran into each other. I was safe until I backed up to find out what the hell was going on. Me, I want to let you know that I'm an Eastern boy. East Alabama. But I came to California in style. I come out here by plane. Plain old bus. But I really like it out here in California. Just think of it, California, land of the fruits and nuts. If you ain't fruits, you damn near nuts. This is a hard place to make a living. I'm out there on the highway hitchhiking, trying to get here. Bus driver pulled up in front of me and flew his doors wide open. Said, "Get in, boy." I said, "No, sir, I'm headed to California and I'm waiting on a Greyhound." He said, "This is Greyhound." He said, "Get in." I said, "Man, you can't fool me. I know a Greyhound bus when I see one. They got a little old gray dog on the outside with little arms up just like that." Just about that time, the little dog slid the window back. So "You better get on in here, Daddy. Hell, it's cold out there." I used to love to go fishing when I was down in Alabama. Loved to go fishing. I remember one time I had my hook out there in the water. If I can remember right, there were 3 more kids out there fishing. A little white boy, a little Mexican boy, and a little colored boy. And one man was out in the middle of the pool in a boat. He was fishing also. And the man in the boat caught a fish about that long. It excited him. He jumped up in his boat, tilted over, and he fell in the water. And he was out there just hollering, "Help, I can't swim. Help, I can't swim." And all 3 of these little boys, they dived in the water, saved the man's life, brought him to the bank. The man was so glad. He said, "I'll give you 3 little boys anything you want for saving my life. Anything you want, you can have it. Just name it. I'm the governor of Alabama." And he asked the little white boy first, said, "What would you like to have?" Little white boy said, "I want a beautiful bicycle." Asked the little Mexican boy, said, "What would you like to have?" He said, "I want a great big old plate of enchiladas and tacos." He asked the little colored boy, said, "What would you like to have?" He said, "I want a brand new seat." He said, "How come you want a brand new seat?" He said, "Well, my daddy finds out that I just saved the governor of Alabama, he gonna wear this one out." Get on. No more squares. None at all. Really. Really, I don't care where you go, you ain't gonna find no squares. You should have been in here the other night. A couple of ladies seated in this club, sitting at the bar, laughing and drinking, enjoying the flow show. One drink right behind the other. Finally, one woman said to the other woman, she said, "Well, honey, girl, all this old drinking, I begin to feel mine." The other woman said, "Hell, if I have another drink, anybody can feel mine." So I went over there and bought her a drink. It cost me damn near $11 feeling around, and I still didn't feel up on a damn thing. That old woman was so big and fat, if she'd got a stomach ache, she'd have hurt all over. I'm standing outside waiting on her to come out. You know I'm gonna wait behind $11, damn it, I got to wait. And when she came out, she ran straight into me and politely asked me where could she get a cab. And that was good as I wanted. I put in my car and drove her straight to her house. And when I got there, she invited me in. And I went in there and stayed all night long. And this old big fat woman really had something. And I think I got it right now. Did nobody give her these? Hell, she must have raised them from puppies. I got them liver house the next morning. I walking down the street and I passed by a fish market. I said, "Good morning, fish man. How much do you get for your crabs?" He said, $1.50 each. I said, "Well, hell, shake hands with a millionaire." $1.50 piece, I'd have cleaned that sucker out. I ain't lying. He don't know it, but I'd have been filthy rich. See, times is tight. Man got to get all the money that he can get nowadays. 3 and 4 jobs I'm working right now trying to support my family. And it's hell getting up early in the morning, catching them crowded buses. Everybody bumping into you, stepping on your feet. I'm standing up at the bus stop the other morning waiting on the bus, and an old lady walked up to catch the bus. I don't know exactly how old she was, but for her age, this old woman was built like, well, what drew my attention to her, a big gust of wind came and blew this old lady's dress straight up over her head. And just like a damn fool, she grabbed her hat. And I'm standing there digging. I don't care how old she is, hell, I'm digging. She got mad at me because I was looking. She said, "I don't know what the hell you looking at, young man. What you looking at is 50 years old, hell. This here is brand new." Get on down a little bit further on the bus. The bus was very, very crowded. And a young lady got on the bus about 17 years old. She didn't have no place to sit. Some old man about 98 years old said, daughter, why don't you sit down on my lap? I'm an old man, and I got a long ways to go, and I can't stand up that far. She sat down on his lap. She rode exactly 2 blocks. She said, you better get up, daughter. I ain't quite as old as I thought I was. That's quiet. Listen to that. So quiet now, I can hear the zippers in the men's room. It's quiet, isn't it? But the ladies' room is the one I'd rather get in. See, the ladies got both hands free. But you can meet a lot of celebrities in the men's room. I was in the men's room last night and I met a hell of a celebrity standing up there shaking hands with his closest friend. And I'm waiting. I looked at him, I said, are you Drew Pearson? He said, no, but I will be in a few minutes. New face. Damn right that whiskey was good. Anything good that goes in your mouth that's warm. I never fault no man for what he want to eat. A man eat what he want to eat. Really? I hate to go to a motel and they ain't got enough towels. I go in a motel and there's not enough towels. It makes me mad. It's easy to understand why. You wake up the next morning and the woman tells you, we're going to use that towel because last night you already done. Well, that makes me mad as hell. I'm not lying. It's no more square. How you text? Fine. Really? There's a lot of Texas folks here. Why I call him Texas? Because he's fast on the draw. Draw 2 colored girls. Can you get by, ma'am? You want to go to the toilet, ma'am? Do you want to? Or you want to? I don't know why you gonna sit there and say shame on me. If she don't get in that toilet, shame on her. Since no more squares now. Everybody is hip. Can't find no more squares. Little bitty kids that they know bigger than that, they know what's going on. Long time ago when I was a child and you was a child, it wasn't nothing but a bunch of squares. Even our teachers that taught us in schools, they were square as hell. And the reason our teacher was so square is because the first thing that they would teach us was ding dong dale. Pussies in the well. My brother got drowned looking for it. That's because he was a square. And I don't know why he should have been a square, because everybody in my family was hip. Me, my uncle, nephew, cousin. In fact, my mother had 14 kids. Now, you know my old man was hip. Or somebody had it in for him. I moved in a new neighborhood But before I enrolled my children in the school, I checked it out for myself. And the day that I went by there, this good-looking young teacher sitting in front of the classroom with her legs crossed just like that. And she decided she'd get up out of the seat and put a problem on the board. And when she got up, she uncrossed her legs and it did just like that. And little Johnny sitting in the first row said, "Oh, teacher, your thigh has caught my eye." Teacher said, "Why, Johnny, I'm ashamed of you. You get up, take your books, and go home and stay for 30 days. And Johnny had to do so. The teacher continued putting a problem on the board, and while she was doing that, she accidentally broke the chalk. And she bent way over to pick the chalk up, and Albert just grabbed his books and started out the room. Teacher stopped Albert at the door and said, "Albert, where are you going?" Albert looked back at the teacher. "After what I seen while you was bending over to picking up that chalk, my school days is over." That teacher got so disgusted in that classroom, she said, "Well, I tell you what I want each one of you students in this classroom to do. I want each one of you to stand up in front of the classroom. Tell me what you want to be when you grow up and tell it to me in rhymes." The first one to stand up was a little boy. He stood up, he said, "My name is Dan. When I grow up, I want to be a man so I can go to Japan if I can, and I think I can." Then some little girl stood up. She said, "Well, my name is Sadie. When I grow up, I want to be a lady so I can have a little baby if I can, and I think I can." Then some little old bad boy stood up. He said, "My name ain't Dan, and I don't care if I don't grow up to be a man, and don't care if I don't go to Japan. I just want to stay and help Sadie with her plan." Another little old bad boy, teacher had him seated back there in the last seat in the classroom. She really didn't want him to get out of his seat at all. He was seated back there and he had a handful of BBs and he was throwing them up and trying his best to catch them. He threw them up and he dropped them, and some of them rolled down to the front of the classroom. Teacher picked a couple of them up and she looked at them. She said, "Now who has iron balls?" This little old bad boy jumped straight up and said, "Superman." Teacher said, "Stand where you are, you little bad son of a gun, you. I got some questions I want to ask you, and I want to see if you can answer them." She said, "Now, since you're so smart, I want you to tell me, what is it that's round and you peel it?" He said, "Oh, teacher, I know what that is. I know what that is. It's an orange." She said, "No, it's an apple." She said, "But you were thinking. She said, "Tell me now, what is it that's long and you peel it back?" He said, "I think I know what that is, teacher. I think I know what that is. It's a cucumber." She said, "No, it's a banana." She said, "But you were thinking. This little bad boy stood there and he thought for a few minutes. He said, "Well, teacher, what is it I got my hands on in my pocket? It's long, hard, and got a head on it." She said, "Get up and get out of here, you little bad devil, you." He said, "No, it's a match, but you were thinking. Then there was one student in the classroom, my nationality. Italian. Mixed with gypsy. This little Italian boy, his name was Tommy. Teacher said, "Tommy, I want you to stand up and tell the teacher how to spell the word Mississippi." Tommy was kind of bashful and he couldn't understand too plain. Tommy said, "Well, teacher, I don't know whether I can spell the word Mississippi or not." Tommy stood up, he said, "Well, Emma, she come up first. Then I come. Elsa come up 2 times. I come again. Then Elsa come up 2 more times. I come, I pee-pee, and I come again." That is all right, ain't it? Instead of me looking the house over, I can see everybody here smoking on all types of cigarettes. And some of that smoke smell very, very familiar. And I want all you smokers to know that Mr. L&M is getting ready to buy out all the rest of the cigarette companies and consolidate them all into one. He just found out that one cool morning, Miss Paul Moe started down Chesterfield Lane in Winston-Salem. She met Philip Morris, who taken her to the Riley Hotel in Newport. They got into an old gold bed, and right away he stuck his king-size L&M into her flip-top box. And if she doesn't look like a Campbell in 9 months, it'll be a damn lucky strike. But he wasn't worried because he used a filter tip. And they said it couldn't be done, but it's what's up front that counts. And before I leave this floor, I would like to mention a few whiskeys and see if I get anybody's special brand. Old Crow told Old Taylor that he saw Paul Jones take Lloyd Calvin's daughter, Virginia Dare, out riding on a white horse by Cobb's Creek near Greens River. And for a silver dollar, he laid her bottoms up, tickled her old drum with 3 feathers. Then he pulled out his Jim Beam, which was as hard as a Canadian club. And rammed it into her crab orchard and gave her a shot of cream of Kentucky, and that started the Wilkins family. One day there was 2 friend girls of mine decided that they would go rabbit hunting. They went out there and sat out there all day long waiting on a rabbit. Finally up popped the rabbit. Both girls jumped up, aimed their rifles at the rabbit and shot, and the rabbit dropped dead. They gets in a big argument about which one killed the rabbit. Daisy May said, I killed the rabbit. Georgia May said, no, you didn't. I killed that rabbit. She said, well, I'll tell you what we do. We take the rabbit into town and let the sheriff settle it. They're taking the rabbit into town, and the sheriff was sitting there behind his desk eating walnuts. Daisy May said, Sheriff, I killed this rabbit. Georgia May said, she killed it. We're bringing it here for you to settle. Sheriff said, well, if I got to settle this, I'm going to do it my way. He said, now the one that do the best trick, that's the one that will get the rabbit. Daisy May, she was tobacco chewer. She looked at the keyhole on the door. She took perfect aim, put her fingers up to her lips, straight through the keyhole, didn't even touch the side. Sheriff said, Georgia May, that's pretty good. You got to go some to beat that. Georgia May said, well, Sheriff, what is them things you eating? He said, they're walnuts. She said, well, give me one of them. She said, now what I want you to do for me, Sheriff, is sit back down in that chair, close your eyes, rear your head back, and open your mouth. Sheriff sat down in the chair, he closed his eyes, reared his head back, and opened his mouth. Georgia May raised up her dress, put that walnut between her legs, shook herself, cracked it, and blew the goodie in George's mouth. Sheriff said, Georgia May, when you finish frying that rabbit, you come on back here and crack me some more of them walnuts.